Takes a lot of energy to do a show like this. You have to really know how to pace yourself. They have general auditions that they have, and I went to a general audition, and then I was called back, and from there I was called down to a smaller audition, and from there I was picked to be in the cast. It's very hard to do social things when you're working in this kind of a situation, because you're here for about 8 hours of the day, and your night times you go home and you go to bed because you're so tired from working here. But every once in a while, yeah, we get together as a cast and go out quite a bit, I think. We have fun as a cast, and the summer goes by so fast that it's nice to spend some time with, about 18, 20 of your really good friends, because then after it's over, you don't see them that often.
If you're an aspiring singer or dancer who's not quite ready for Broadway, where do you go to break into show business? And we'll show you an alternative approach to education that really works tonight on Bayscene. If you are a young singer or a young dancer who dreams of making show business your career, there's always a big problem. Where do you go to get the big break? Now, other than community theater or school productions, there really aren't very many places where you have the opportunity to professionally perform. But down in Santa Clara, there's a show that runs 6 months a year. It plays to a standing room only crowd 4 to 6 times a day. All the cast members are in their late teens and early 20s, and what they lack in experience, they much more than make up for in energy and enthusiasm. The show is a musical review entitled Broadway, and it is the 1980 season presentation center stage at Marriott's Great America in Santa Clara.
I started at Great America 5 years ago. I auditioned for the show, and I had beforehand been involved with the Children's Theater, and a group of about 10 of us came down, and we decided to try it for a lark, and they called us all back, and there was about 3 of us that wound up performing that first year. And then from there, I loved it so much that I wound up staying here. The very first year, it was all really new and exciting because no one really knew what to expect. They talked about building a theme park here, and everyone went, oh, and then when they talked about entertainment, it was just incredible. It changed my life as far as a routine-wise, because it was my first job as a 16-year-old, and it was actually a look into professional world of show business. The production here is done on a smaller scale, but what it is, it's the repetition that's different from a place like Las Vegas or the Broadway show, because they do close to, I'd say, 1,000 performances a year here, which is just an incredible amount for anyone to continue having the same vitality and same energy every show. And I think that's where it really differs. They back their shows very well here at Great America. They put a lot of money into it, a lot of time. Each year we spend, I'd say close to a month rehearsing with each cast. There's 2 different casts here, and each one gets the same amount of rehearsal. But I'd say as far as comparison, it's certainly a good stepping stone onto things like Broadway and Las Vegas.
In casting the show, we're looking for 3 things. First and foremost, musicianship, because it is a singing show. They have to be good sight singers. They have to be good solo singers also. That's probably the single most important thing. The second one is the thing that I would call basic performance ability, the ability to command the stage, which has to do with what they look like and how they come across the footlights to the audience. And the third thing is as plain and simple as attitude about this whole thing. It's not a requirement by any means that everyone that's on the stage has to want to make a career out of show business, but they have to really want to do this.
Nothing. originally auditioned back in Gurney at the Marriott's there, and I didn't make it. That was my senior year in high school. It's the thing to do there. It's for performers. It's really all there is. And out here it's very close and something I've always wanted to do. So I gave it another shot, and here I am. I've learned a lot about vocal styles and stamina. I'm really impressed by the way a lot of the old-timers can, if someone gets sick during the show or can't do a number, just go right out on stage and pretend that they know exactly what they're doing, and they do it. And I guess that's really made a big impression on me. School. It's hard to get through grades and stay in touch with your friends there, as well as do a really good job here. And I find myself cutting myself out of a lot of social things, but I still am involved with people, so I don't mind.
This is my second season, and I started last year when I was 19 years old. I could never get out of music. It's just a part of me. It always will be a part of me. Well, I think everybody has at one time or another, thinking about going to Hollywood and trying to make it. And that's a dream, and I think everybody should live out their dreams and give it a good shot, because if you never do it, then you'll always say, well, gee, I could have done that, but I never did.
It takes a lot of energy to do a show like this. You have to really know how to pace yourself. They have general auditions that they have, and I went to a general audition, and then I was called back, and from there I was called down to a smaller audition, and from there I was picked to be in the cast. It's very hard to do social things when you're working in this kind of a situation, because you're here for about 8 hours of the day, and your night times you go home and you go to bed because you're so tired from working here. But every once in a while, yeah, we get together as a cast and go out quite a bit, I think. We have fun as a cast, and the summer goes by so fast that it's nice to spend some time with, about 18, 20 of your really good friends, because then after it's over, you don't see them that often.
Some of them go on and do things, like some have gone to Vegas. Some have gone to, sing background with celebrity acts, that sort of thing. Because that kind of training, that's what they really get here, that kind of being able to perform and being a good, strong singer kind of thing. And then some of them I've used in legitimate theater.
Performing here is it's the best thing that I know of. I think that it gives them a peek into show business. It lets them see what it's really like in a professional world. It gives them excellent training. There's no better place, I think, that you can get. It's a daily routine, and it teaches them a lot of discipline, and it teaches them just the meanings of the word theater.
I like to think of the shows in the park, their primary function is being kind of the frosting on the cake here. And it is tailored to a more family audience. This particular Broadway show was written around the premise, and when you see it next time, you probably pick this up, of pop songs from Broadway musicals, which means that it will play to someone who maybe not even into Broadway. He sure knows what Hello Dolly means, That's the whole premise of the show.
it's a fantastic experience. It's a lot of hard work, but it pays off.
I would like to keep auditioning for new and different things. Hopefully go to Broadway. I've auditioned for things and haven't done it and haven't been accepted yet, so maybe sometime.